Let's continue with our reaction to the story now, bringing now ANC veteran Omry Makgaole, who joins us via our telephone line this Monday morning. Great to have you on the program, sir. Thanks very much, as always, for making time. You know, the former president, Jacob Zuma, is regarded as an elder within the organization. So as a start, as an elder of the ANC, well, within the ANC yourself, what do you make of his decision?
Well, I think it's disappointing, but it's not surprising. You know, former president, of course, as you might remember, he did not want to go and give evidence as to the commission. He did not want to participate there because that's where actually his role as a state president would have been discussed and exposed, that he handed over power to the Gupta family. He handed over power to the Gupta family and the Watson. So for us, it's disappointing. But the problems inside the ANC are about corruption inside the ANC, rather than individuals like former President Zuma and so on. You know, it's the corruption inside the ANC. We have to clean the ANC inside. But he will, of course, influence some people who used to support him, former MK comrade who used to support him, who got benefits under him, under the Guptas and the Watson. But majority of the former MK comrades did not benefit under President Zuma, so and they are still homeless, some of them now, and some of them still struggle to pay fees for their children, former MK comrades. So we don't have much to celebrate in him from our side. But for the ANC, it will lose some support in KZN and in Gauteng among his supporters, but not much. In the other provinces, I don't think there will be much influence of his impact.
Wow. All right. Given what you've just said then, and given the perception of the former president, his image, his reputation, etc., do you think his departure from the governing party will hurt or help the ANC, ironically?
Look, it has got the percentage of hating or the percentage of, I'm not sure about the relative percentage, but in KZN and some parts of Gauteng, we will lose support because of him. In KZN and Gauteng, some part of it will lose support. But in other provinces, it doesn't have much impact. So in other provinces, the ANC won't be affected much. So we wouldn't worry much about him. And I think as a matter of principle, it would be good if he was maybe expelled, you know, for bringing the party to disrepute or suspended, so that we show that we are principled as the ANC, you know. It would be good that he should be suspended or expelled, you know, for bringing the party into disrepute, so that we stand firm against corruption and against ill-discipline, irrespective of who is ill-disciplined. You know, even former presidents, if they are ill-disciplined, they should be disciplined. You know, so I would say that the ANC won't lose much, you know, from me, you know, won't lose much. I think so, because what we want is integrity and ethical behavior inside the ANC. You know, that's what we need.
Is that your official call to the party, that action be taken against the former president in the form of an expulsion even?
Well, some of my comrades have suggested that he should be expelled. It's better that he's expelled or suspended, you know, until further notice. Suspended until further notice for bringing the party into disrepute. But we know that they might not do that. And but I don't think the ANC benefits much by keeping him inside the ANC. When he's actually saying openly he's not going to vote for the ANC.
Right. Let me ask the question this way. To what extent do you think the rules of the ANC are clear about how to respond to an incident like this?
Look, the rules are clear. It's the implementation that has been a problem. The rules are clear. You know, whether it's through the eye of the needle or whether it's the Constitution 25 for all these rules, the rules are clear. It's the implementation that has been inconsistent, and implementation depends on the leadership in office at the time. So it depends on who is in office at the time. So, for instance, all these rules are there, but they are not implemented fully, you know, because, you know, some are treated more equal than others. Others defy the president in parliament, are still kept there, they are not expelled. Others defy the president, they are removed. So it's lack of consistency in applying disciplinary rules inside the ANC. That is a problem. And all that comes from the lack of will by the leadership, you know, to be resolute against wrong things.
Yeah, I was about to ask that exact question. It sounds to me that that is an indictment on the leadership of the day, which ironically is one of the points that were made by the former president yesterday when he announced that his conscience, as he put it, no longer allows him to back the ANC. On Saturday, I beg your pardon, that's when the announcement was made.
Yes, well, his conscience, of course, his conscience did not allow him to go to Zondo Commission to go and give evidence about his role as head of the state. So his conscience is really not as reliable for us as ANC members to be followed, because he handed over power to the Gupta family. So his conscience allowed him to hand over power to the Gupta family, which was a disappointment to us.
You know, in making this announcement at the weekend, the former president may have really orchestrated himself, at least according to some people and to some sectors of the organization. What I find interesting, though, is that those who are speaking out against him today didn't seem to have a problem with backing him at the height of his leadership within the organization. So at the very least, it seems there's going to be a lot of introspection within the ANC about ways through which even those who are now celebrating his departure were complicit in, you know, what he drove, the corruption that you lay at his footstep.
Yes, I understand. You know, the problem with this current system is the parliamentary electoral laws and the ANC internal electoral laws. The confluence of these two laws make sure that people who want to keep their jobs, then they have to satisfy whoever is in office because they want to be appointed as ministers, MECs and all that, and director general. And that is because of the parliamentary laws. Once we change the parliamentary laws, you know, if we manage to change it so that majority of the members of parliament are actually directly elected by the citizens, all that problem you're talking about will evaporate, because the citizen will hold each politician accountable where they are, you know. But at the moment, it's the party that employs, the party headquarters that employs the MECs, ministers, directors, it's the party headquarters. And this is why these people, even when they see that the party headquarters is wrong, but because they want to keep their jobs, they want to have jobs, they keep quiet. And that's why there's no ethics, there's no principles. It's because of the parliamentary electoral laws. Until we change them and we directly elect members of parliament, we cannot clean the state and we cannot clean the ANC.
Sure. I mean, the irony, of course, is that it's the very same ANC that still has a majority in parliament. And if there was real political will to change these parliamentary laws, that probably would have been done by now.
Yes, there's no will. And that's why I say the current ANC leadership and membership, they've got no will to change the parliamentary laws because they benefit from it by abusing it. They appoint each other and so on. And this is why it has not been ethical, because if the headquarters is corrupt, then the entire body becomes corrupt. And that's why I say we must change the parliamentary electoral laws forever. The majority of members of parliament must be elected directly by the citizens rather than by the party headquarters list. It is the problem in that list that is to cause all the problems in the country. Everything is destroyed because of that party list.
Sure. Given what you've said this morning, Dr. Omry Makgaole, why should anybody vote for the ANC next year?
Look, we are cleaning the ANC now. As the Veterans League, we have put proposals that all the people who are implicated in Zondo Commission, all the people who are implicated in CBS, all the people who are implicated in solid waste, Limpopo Waterworks, Frieda Farm, they should be removed from the candidate list. And once that is achieved, then people have a reason to vote for ANC. But if we still keep those people who are implicated in this, who are contaminated in the list, then I don't think that we as veterans can go and campaign that such a list should be voted for. Unless they clean the ANC list, candidate list. The Zondo Commission implicated comrades, those implicated in CBS, those implicated in solid waste should be removed from the list. Then we as veterans will have a reason to say, give them a chance. But when you have a list full of groups that are known, how can we campaign for that? You know?
So I wonder if you reckon there's any space for the former president to come back into the governing party. I mean, look, his announcement was a bit here and there, because he says he's not going to back the ANC when it comes to voting and campaigning next year. However, he remains a member of the ANC. I'm not quite sure what to make of that. But for all intents and purposes, he's kind of severed ties with the governing party. And given what he said on his way out on Saturday, is there room for him to ever come back, do you think?
Well, I mean, as a member of the ANC, he can still be there as a member of the ANC. But as a leader, it's another matter. He can't be a president in future. So his term as part as the president, he can just be another leader, but not as the president of the ANC anymore.
All right, Omry Makgaole, thanks for your take. Appreciate your time on the AM report this morning. Omry Makgaole speaking to us there as an ANC veteran as we continue tracking the story around the former president of the ANC, in many ways backing another organization in the lead up to next year's elections.